Hello, my name is Linnea Nelson. I'm the Executive Director of UU Wellspring, and I am delighted to bring you today to our UU Wellspring for Youth Groups program. Right now, we have 10 programs to give away. We've already started giving them away for youth groups to participate in 2022. That means soon, winter, or it could be spring, summer, or fall of 2022. I'd love to tell you more about it and try to answer some of the questions you might have. So first of all, if you've received an email from me saying that you're confirmed or that you are next on the list, I need a yes, we're in email before I send out the password. But you might not be quite ready to make that decision yet. So I'm hoping that this PowerPoint and the FAQs I'm sending and the sample session will be enough to inspire you to get started on UU Wellspring with your youth. We know that it is so needed right now for youth to be gathering. Many of them have dropped away, and we are finding that those who are participating are finding that the focus on spiritual practices has been just such a big help to them during this very challenging time. So a few FAQs that have come my way. UU Wellspring is a spiritual deepening program. We focus on spiritual practices with the youth. We know that that will also help them to develop their UU identity as they find ways to bring peace and to sustain their lives using spiritual practices. We use the UU sources to explore our faith, and this might be somewhat familiar or unfamiliar to both facilitators and the youth, but we found it to be a great grounding to get started on this spiritual deepening. There are 8 sessions. They can be flexible weekly or bi-monthly, 60 to 90 minutes each. Groups of 3 to 10 participants. You can go a little bit bigger if you're willing to extend the time to 2 hours. Under 3, and we find, well, if one of them misses, then you're 1 youth and 2 adults, and it's just not quite enough to feel like you're in a group setting. We encourage you to follow your own congregational safety guidelines, and of course that would include 2 vetted facilitators. If you have people who've taken UU Wellspring in the past, that's a fabulous option, but of course they first and foremost must be great with youth. You can collaborate with another congregation, but both congregations are counted as a congregation. So if you're both on the pro bono list, you can both collaborate together. That's fine. We just count you as 2 congregations. If one of you is not part of the pro bono or didn't kind of get in time, then we do ask for a payment, and the payment is $75 if you are a UU Wellspring congregation already and you're participating in the adult level, or $150 if you are not. But contact me, we'll work something out. So one of the things, oops, I think I skipped a page, sorry. There's a sample session that's included, but I wanted to give you kind of an overview. There is an email with pre-session information. It comes at the end of each session because when you finish the session, you want to be ready to send out the email for the next session. But I put it first here because that's, of course, where you're going to start with making sure that everybody has that. There will be readings and music links already provided. We make sure that there's time for deep check-in. We know how important that is to youth groups. If there's a key resource, we're going to encourage you to view it together to make sure that everybody's seen it or read it. And even if they already have, if it's so key to the session, it's probably one that they wouldn't mind seeing again. We spend some time on their reflections, but then we spend a considerable time on spiritual practices. And those spiritual practices can be anything from Lectio Divina, where we are teaching them how to read materials in a sacred way to find how the Spirit speaks to them. We also do some guided meditation. We just explore a lot of things that we want them to have an opportunity to try out so that they can have something that sustains them perhaps for the rest of their lives. So often adults who discover spiritual practices say, oh, wish I would have been doing this a lot longer. So we feel that this could be very helpful to youth. This is the web page, and I'm hoping that you can spend a little time poking around here. You might even be interested in joining one of the online programs. We'll be starting up again in the fall. That's a possibility we might have one more this spring. So let me know if you're interested in that, just for your own spiritual and professional development. But when you come to the website, you'll see that facilitator login, and that's where you're going to go to access the materials. When you click it, it brings you to youth and young adults. Just go down the list till you get there. And then it's going to ask for the password, and the password will be provided to you once again, once you confirm that you are ready to rock and roll with this program. Once you put in the password, you will be brought to this page that has all the programming on it. And then you will choose one of the, whichever one you're at. Of course, you'll start with the opening session, and then the second session is Direct Experience of Wonder. And when you click on it, you will have the information for the session. It's very step-by-step, so that facilitators don't need any special training. If they take the time to read through, they'll find that everything is here, and they really don't need to go out of their way to collect additional information. They just need to add the Zoom or the room to the email that they send out. And if they have any special messages, they certainly can include that as well. You can contact me at director@uuwellspring.org. And if you have any questions, and I really hope to hear from you soon. Thank you much.